Welcome into Sports City Nation. Today is Friday the 13th. So we'll find out, how does TI celebrate Friday the 13th? Also, we'll talk NFL free agency. There might be some exciting whites. And who knew the Olympics could be so spicy?
Sports, comedy, pop culture, and everything in between. By idiots, for idiots.
This is Sports Idiot Nation.
Sports, comedy, pop culture, and everything in between. Welcome back, sinners. This is Season 2 of Sports Idiot Nation.
Welcome into Sports Idiot Nation. It is a Friday. It is a super freaky Friday because it is Friday the 13th. I don't know if it's supposed to be in February. I feel like the Mayans got that wrong, the calendar. I don't know who set that up. TI, how do you celebrate, though, Friday the 13th?
I mean, it's only fitting that Friday the 13th comes right before Valentine's Day because both of them are scary as hell. So, but how do I celebrate Friday the 13th? I like to don one of my favorite
watch the movies.
Oh yeah, I like to don one of my favorite hockey masks. And that's all. Just mask. Going commando, everything else. Yeah, and watch the Olympics. Axe in hand, machete. Whatever. Weapon of the hour. But yeah, no, I like the Friday the 13th series. Growing up, I was Freddy and Jason, multiple Halloweens. I think I always liked Freddy a little more just because he was so crazy, but Jason was great because it's like these people are running full speed always away from him, and he's just walking, and it gets him every time.
What is that concept? Yeah, can we talk through that concept a little bit?
Yeah, and then he's just walking, and they're like running full speed, and he's just like, I'm just still going to walk and get you. No need for me to exert a little bit of energy here. I need to save my energy for using my machete to chop you up.
Do you remember that Progressive commercial where they were like, why don't we just go in this perfectly working car?
Yeah.
And they go into the shed.
Yeah, it was like Texas Chainsaw Massacre kind of parody. Yeah, they go and they hide in the barn above them, with all the hanging knives and blades.
Like, shh,
they're like, this is a safe place.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the killer is just like, oh my god, these kids.
Yeah, he takes off his mask. Even he's like,
it's like, this isn't even worth my time, man. Bring me some better. Bring me some smarter victims.
Yeah,
bring me some smarter victims, please.
Which, speaking of, if you were Sidney from the Scream series, who would want to be your friend? How are these people still involved with loved ones where the killer can be like, hi, Sidney? What is happening?
Yeah, come on.
I'll still watch, but
Sidney calls you up. Hey, I think about going to Panama City this year for spring break. No thanks.
No thanks. Yeah, I've seen TV. I've watched the news for the last 20 years. How do you build that script?
I don't even know this is prank caller. Leave me alone.
Yeah. Spam. Yeah. Are you trying to buy my house?
Call, please hang up and try again.
Yeah. Are you one of those spammers trying to buy my house?
Yeah, the new Scream looks good though. I like it. I like the concept where it's because think about all these famous murder houses that become these tourist attractions and bed and breakfasts and stuff.
It's a Home Alone house.
Yeah, man, it's cool. It's a cool idea, and they've got to keep coming up with something fresh. And the last one I didn't think was too bad. I mean, for a series that just keeps continuing for no reason, they still keep making them interesting.
Well, now it's a whole new set of people that, you got kids who are 25 years. If you're 25, I call you a kid, but 25-year-olds don't know.
Yeah, I tell 25-year-olds to get off my lawn. Hey, you. Get off my lawn, clean up after your dog.
Yeah. Yeah, so for them, they can go back and watch the other ones or just watch this one. I'm sure they won't make it. They'll give some solid callbacks, but it won't be enough to if you didn't watch those, you have no idea what's going on. I'm sure it'll be fine on a standalone. So that's why I'm kind of okay, a new generation That's why we like Turtles and Transformers and all those, because every 20 years or so, you could kind of do a reboot and people like us would be like, oh, we remember when it first came out. Yeah, but dude, no one cares about us. We're
I
old.
mean, I even watched back when I think it was during COVID when I stumbled across it, but there was a Scream series that MTV produced, and it was actually pretty good. I mean, I actually watched more than one season of it, and that says a lot for an MTV series. And I mean, it's just one of those properties that people will always watch just because the first one was so original. I mean, Ghostface was great. It was just a nondescript movie monster. Like, oh, we got this mask; it could be anybody.
Yeah.
Very first one. I mean, I was all in, man. As soon as I walked out of the theater, no joke, I'll never forget. I mean, I wasn't 10 seconds out of the theater, my phone rang. And me and the group of people around, like all of us, we all jumped, like, because I mean, that's the last thing that you wanted to really happen to you walking out of the original Scream. But that
Yeah.
opening scene with Drew Barrymore, like, it was intense, man. Wes Craven's a genius. He always has been, and that was like, I mean, Nightmare on Elm Street will always be, pinnacle of the '80s horror movies. But I think Wes Craven Scream was probably his best work, man. I mean, the first Scream, the very first one was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it was so like meta. It was meta before meta was a thing. It was so self-aware. And they kept making it more self-aware. Like Scream 2 was even more meta, and that became like a running trope of it. So I like it, man. I'm interested in the new one. I won't be going to see it in the theater, but I'll watch it when it's streaming
Check
or
it out.
whatever.
Yeah. Okay, so I shared this article with you guys and want to go through it because there were some intriguing names. We're talking NFL free agency, and there's a lot of names that you kind of forget and that jump up at you, and you're like, okay, this could be intriguing. We gave our way too early picks, earlier in the week for, what teams are going to be really good and that kind of thing. And sometimes it's just fun to check out some of these names and talk through it. And the first name that I want to talk through as I'm glancing through everything is none other than the Super Bowl MVP. Because in the which, first of all, let's talk about the parade. The linebacker.
Ernest
And I
Jones.
saw I
Yeah.
saw Wes Wisely, right, on your fellow Titan fan, um had, or no. It was the guy that you like to poke fun of, the Jaguars guy, who,
Oh, David Sislow.
yes, who like
Yeah.
reposted or something. He's like, if you're talking about our linebackers, if you ain't talking about our offensive line, you ain't talking about our quarterback. And then he literally just says, F you. Like, just live out in the crowd, just, kids had taken off school and just like, I mean, just so
Seattle can
hilarious, dude.
Seattle can thank the Titans for that because we traded for him from the Rams, and then we traded him to Seattle. So
Nice.
good for him. I mean, he was great. He was our leading tackler when we traded him. We were all like, "Oh man, what a great trade, man! This is working out great." And then the next day, it's like, "Oh, we just traded to Seattle." He was like a five game rental for us.
Yeah. Now Super Bowl champion, no big deal. But yeah, Kenneth Walker. So, and obviously he had a lot more carries, a lot more stats when the second guy who he just loves running with, Charbonnet, goes out.
Charbonnet. Zachary
Yeah.
Charbonnet.
Chalamet. So obviously that kind of helps, but now, we've seen teams that win the Super Bowl and just are never the same. And you wonder, the Seahawks have a couple names that are like, okay, they did okay with paying Darnold a fair amount. They're okay with, because they drafted so well, they are not paying a ton of guys. But now a ton of guys want their money. And it's fair because they can say, yeah, but bro, I'm a Super Bowl champion. So they kind of have that to hang their hat on, if you will. So I think, a team like the Jets, or you just wonder, a team who needs a running back that is a solid, the Titans.
I know a team. And
I mean, can you imagine, dude?
He's a Memphis native. So
Is he?
yeah, he's from Memphis.
Okay. I
So
remember seeing about his dad. His dad doesn't like crowds, and he was just like this the whole Super Bowl. They mic'd him up and everything. Poor guy.
That's a side thing. We need to do an episode about. I'm just the more I watch sports, the less intrigued I am with people getting mic'd up. I mean, in his situation is different, but like,
Yeah.
I feel like, hey, we're gonna mic you up today. Just be yourself. Okay, yeah, right. I'm not gonna be myself. I'm mic'd up. I'm gonna
Yeah,
be
I'm not.
over
Yeah,
the top. I'm gonna be completely over the
exactly.
top. Like,
You see NFL films, and a guy in practice will walk by, and he'll say something, and the guy will look, and his teammate will look at him, and he said, "Are you mic'd up?" Yeah, bro. And then all of a sudden, it just changes. Or he's doing stretches with the guys. He's like, "Hey, y'all, I'm mic'd up," and then just the whole it just changes. Be yourself. Yeah, okay.
yeah, ridiculous.
Now George Kittle is the same. I will tell you.
But I mean, yeah, Kenneth Walker is intriguing. I think Seattle does whatever they can to keep him, but a lot of teams are going to come trying to pay him and scoop him. But it doesn't mean a hill of beans if you don't have a good offensive line. Come on, man. I mean,
well,
you can keep giving him all of the carries all you want behind a Swiss cheese line, and he's not going to produce like that. So if I was Seattle, I would open up the bank on him. I think Sam Darnold's a guy that they can kind of negotiate with a little bit. Like, hey, he would probably be the kind of guy that might not need more money and a lot more money at least, even though he's a Super Bowl champion. Because I mean, the man has been around the way, but Kenneth Walker seems like a guy that's other people come knocking, you're going to have to up your price. But I could see, some teams going after him. I could see Baltimore going after him. I could see, like you said, the Jets. I don't know. We'll see. Breece Hall's a free agent. I keep hammering Breece Hall on X every time he makes a post. I'm like, he posted something just 2 days ago. It was like, did anybody ever buy this thing? It was one of those like late night infomercial things. I told him, I typed on there, I was like, I'll buy you 1,000 of them if you sign with Tennessee in the offseason, But so I'm hoping Saleh and the boys can use their New York Jet ties and convince him to come to Tennessee. Probably a pipe dream, but no offense to Pollard and Tajay Spears. But if I can get my boy Breece Hall in two-tone blue, I will probably go buy his jersey, man. Haven't bought a jersey since Kevin Byard, so.
I am not buying new jerseys for my team. I have a strict rule now that, look, when you're a fan of really good teams, you are able to buy so many old jerseys, whether it's baseball, basketball, football. I mean, you got Chris Mullin, you got Will Clark, you got Kevin Mitchell, Barry Bonds, all Run TMC had Hardaway, and and then football. I'm not even going to name
Latrell Sprewell.
So, no joke, you can ask Miles. I have a New York Latrell Sprewell jersey from the thrift shop for $3 that I still have in my closet.
I still always think about him choking PJ Carlos.
Of course. How can you not think about that?
I mean,
of course.
Dude jumps across the table. Homer Simpson-ish.
And then his voice was never the same.
Yeah. Because he probably popped his eyeballs out of his head for a moment. It's like Looney Tunes.
Homer, like Bart and Homer. Why, you little?
Yeah. PJ's head was twisted. His tongue was out. Yeah. But I like Sprewell, though, man. I did. I liked him. I liked him in Alabama. Loved him in Golden State. He was fun to watch, man. You talk about somebody who didn't have the expectations I think that his career was. I think when it just came out, people were like, yeah, he's a good player. But, man, he became a superstar. And he had his own rims. Spinners. Trail Sprewells.
Sprees. Yeah. So, fun fact. NBA Live didn't have the rights to Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan. If you take Latrell Sprewell and put him on the Bulls, it was pretty much he did everything that you would want Michael Jordan to do. I'm just saying, in that game,
I would use Chris Mullin. Chris Mullin would hit a three from anywhere. You could shoot a three from the backcourt, literally the backcourt, and he would hit it.
Him and another exciting white, Dan Majorly, or you can call him Marley. I call him Majorly. You know who I'm talking about.
I mean, he was, I don't know if he was full exciting white. He looked like he had a little bit of mixed in him, He was a little bit, yeah, he could jump out of the roof. He was way too tan. He might not be full exciting white.
All right, let's go to the Eagles because the Eagles have a defense that every year they pick up players either from Georgia or some team in the SEC, and you just roll your eyes. You're like, why are the Eagles getting so good on defense? And like, it's frustrating. And so they have a guy, Nakobe Dean, that had 7 sacks and 16 tackles for losses over the last 2 years. And when he's healthy, he's one of those guys from Georgia. Remember that it was a couple years ago. I think like 4 Georgia players went to the Eagles. It was like, oh, cool, that's really fair. And then they won the freaking Super Bowl. Like, but is this a year where the defense starts losing guys? I think he's at the forefront of that. And is this the year where the Eagles really kind of spin out of control? Like they were laughed out of the playoffs, kind of, and their coordinators can get it right. Like
they might be. I'll be honest, man. If they get rid of AJ Brown, like it looks like it's inevitable divorce. I think they become a little more focused on Devonta. I swear his name's Devonta. Everybody calls him Devontae, but his freaking name is spelled Devonta. It has an A on it. So anyway, but I think they become a little more focused if they get back to handing the ball off to Saquon Barkley and just feeding it through the Goddard.
Should have been doing that, dude.
I know, but I think it's the problem is AJ Brown. He's crying for the ball all the time, and then when they throw it to him, he can't catch it.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. AJ Brown's still a top 10 receiver, but he's been a problem for them the past 2 years, and I think he's been the reason why they've struggled. Just because he's been so demanding instead of just like even when he's not getting the ball and they're winning, they still show him on the sidelines. He's over there reading a book. He's just, come on, man. He's over there like Norm Macdonald at the roast. He's like just back there like reading the paper. Like I'm supposed to be playing football. Sorry, you guys aren't passing me the ball, so I'm just reading the book.
Yeah. They're done with him. I feel like.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if they necessarily take a dip, but their offense may get a little better, but. It just depends. Like you said, they got all new coordinators coming in. I think
that's
they got
the issue.
They get the Packers quarterback coach as their OC, I believe.
They have like 5 coordinators in 5 years. Something weird like that. It's like Jalen Hurts is not the issue. I love to rag on any Eagle I can, but I gotta be honest. It's not. I don't think it's Jalen Hurts is the issue there of why they're not performing,
people can try to talk trash on Hurts all they want, but man, look at his numbers the past 4 years. Dude is putting up stats.
Super Bowl champ.
Combined, he put up like 34 touchdowns or something this year through the air and on the ground. So I'll take that. But you give him, I think the problem is Mr. Punchable. Oh, Nick Sirianni, man. I'm just not a fan of dude. He's media's after him. So what does he do? Instead of like facing the music, he comes out with his kids at the press conference and has his kids with him, knowing that people won't grill him because his kids are with him. Dude, get out of here, man. So I think he's the problem, man, because let's be real. Let's take the Harbaugh, take John Harbaugh there. In Baltimore, like he takes Lamar, builds an offense around him. Lamar's putting up ungodly numbers. Imagine what Harbaugh would do with a Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts might not be your traditional pocket passer, but when you force him to sit back there and throw the ball, he's usually on point. Most of the times, it's his receivers dropping the ball. I saw many games this year because he was my fantasy QB where I would have won the game if the receivers had caught the ball. Don't get me wrong, he still makes bonehead turnovers, but last time I checked, every quarterback does.
Yeah.
It's part of the
Josh
game.
Allen.
Yeah. If you're not taking risks, you're not going to win. So.
Well, so I think that the Eagles defense there might be a chip in the armor starting to come loose because Dre Greenlaw for the Broncos, former 49er, showed that even if you're injured a lot, you can get paid a lot and if you go to another team. And I think that is the bar. And because the argument is, well, this guy really isn't on the field enough, but he is a game record type when he is on the field. And if he goes, then I think it could be a chain reaction. He's a really, really good. The dude's 25 years old. So, I mean, that's why Greenlaw got paid too, is because he's not quite old yet. So, I don't know. We'll see. A couple guys on offense from the Packers I want to talk about. One that you know really well, Malik Willis and Romeo Dobbs. Those guys both might be looking for new teams. And Romeo Dobbs,
yeah.
I get, isn't. We
They're
have a
both
much
gone.
flashier. We have a much flashier wide receiver to talk about here soon. I admit Romeo Dobbs is not the flashiest guy you've ever seen, but he does make big plays. He's shown that he can get an offense and be a key player, a key performer. And Malik Willis, talk about like resurrecting. You and I both, you as a Titans fan and me as a non-Titans fan, would make fun of that guy equally. I saw him in person play a preseason game, and I was like, dude, this dude ain't it. He didn't even take a snap and do any read. Some guys do one read and they're nervous and they just start sprinting. I feel like they called 19 quarterback draws for him in the preseason game that I watched. I was live there. And I'm like, this guy ain't it. And you were like, yeah, this guy ain't it. And then he goes to Green Bay and balls out. Like, I don't understand that.
I mean, good offensive coordinator, a good quarterback coach. I mean, LaFleur's been both. And now he's a head coach. I just think, and Green Bay has a track record of producing quarterbacks. They always have. Even, all the ones that have been through there. Even, you had Hasselback there. I mean, not Hasselback. You had the human victory cigar. What was his name? Man. He went to Seattle and got beat out. I can't remember his name right now.
Flynn?
Yeah, Matt Flynn. Like, even their backups, like, always do pretty well. So it's like, not a lot of teams have the luxury of going from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers for like 30 straight years, So the backups get a lot of experience there in practice, like seeing guys know how to do it. And so I just think they have a good track record in-house of producing QBs. Jordan Love is good, so Malik Willis gets to learn from him. So, yep. I think it's just a change of scenery too. He never really got a true shot in Tennessee. Like, I think he deserved to be kept around as the third quarterback. When we were figuring things out, he played phenomenal in the preseason that year. And then
so you had Mason Rudolph. We
had Rudolph and Levis
for that 1 year,
and we had Malik Willis balling out in preseason, playing great. And all the Titans fans are like, man, I think he deserves a shot to stick around. And luckily, Rand Carthon did good by him and found a good fit for him. Traded him, I think, for like a fourth rounder. I mean, we drafted him in the third, mainly because he slipped, and everybody's looking at it like a project. Like, hey, man, if this works out, great.
You take a flyer on him, yeah.
Yeah, maybe you didn't take a flyer on him in the third, maybe more the fifth, because he probably still would have been there. But that's the reason why Rand Carthon's not here anymore. But and Mike Vrabel didn't like that at all. That's not his style of QB. Like, that's not what he wants. Yeah. We all know he wants. I mean, he's the reason why. As soon as he got here, he was like, all right, he traded for Tannehill immediately. He was like, that's my kind of guy. And Drake May, that's his kind of guy. I mean, he just wants, he doesn't want to run a quarterback. He wants you to use your legs and you have to. He doesn't want to run a quarterback.
Well, look who his teammate was. I mean, you can't fault him.
Yeah.
For wanting Tom Brady. Like, yeah. I mean, the statue.
True. So, but Malik Willis is going to get paid, man. I don't know where that's going to be. I heard a rumor the Browns are looking at him, which makes no sense because they're talking about giving Deshaun Watson a chance to compete.
I wonder about Arizona.
Well, I mean, I also heard some rumors of Kyler Murray being shopped around as well. So, I mean,
that's why I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, you could see that. Other teams I could see taking a flyer on him. It's tough. I mean, Minnesota could take a flyer on them. They need somebody to push JJ McCarthy.
Atlanta.
Atlanta
They make weird decisions at quarterback. Absolutely weird.
I mean, I read reports just yesterday that Will Levis could possibly be shopped around, and Minnesota popped up in that one too. So I mean, you might have a couple former Titans out there trying to push some people for some jobs. But I don't know what other teams really make a fit. Dolphins could make a good fit because they've got their Packers OC is there as the. I think this OC is it. I can't remember what or the DC. Can't remember. I think it's the DC maybe is there. But anyway, he's the head coach in Miami now. I mean, he could bring Malik Willis over because Tua ain't it. And if we're trying to bridge the gap for next year's draft, I mean, I don't see Miami taking a quarterback this year. I mean, what do we got? We got Mendoza's going to Vegas, and the next one you got is Ty Simpson.
So let's run through this. Let's run through real quick the teams that you think these are TI's picks for needing quarterbacks. Okay, AFC East will start. Patriots, no. Bills, no. Jets.
Yeah, they could.
Fields, are they sticking with Fields? Do you think?
I mean, it's up to Fields, really. He already turned down the Pro Bowl. He said he was focusing on his game. So, I mean, if they believe in him, I don't know. But you got old, Woody out there just talking about
3 games last year.
Just talking about never even really met him. It's like how have you not even met your starting quarterback? Like, what in the hell is going on there in Jet?
Yeah, dude, that's so weird. What about
they need a quarterback. Dolphins for sure. Dolphins
Okay.
to me is like makes the most sense for him.
So we're at 2. Then Ravens no, Bengals no, Browns.
I mean, I read just 2 days ago that they're looking at him, but I don't know how true that is. I mean, but they collect quarterbacks like they're trading cards, man.
But I thought Shador. I thought they're excited to have him. I don't know.
I think they are, but every team needs an insurance policy. Shador at this point is a project. We know that.
Okay, but we're talking about for a starter.
I mean, they're already talking about, like I said, they're already talking about giving Deshaun Watson open competition. And let's be real. If a healthy Deshaun Watson comes in wanting to play, he's probably going to be a starter.
But that means they're not looking for one. Then what about the Steelers?
I see that they're eyeing Simpson in the draft. If Rodgers comes back, maybe Rodgers comes back for one season and mentors Ty Simpson a little bit. I don't know. I don't necessarily say that they're looking for a quarterback per se, but they definitely don't have anything on paper right now because Rodgers is surprised
That's an
up in the
interesting
air.
one. So maybe 3. All right. The only division in the AFC I feel like that is like so solid of not needing a quarterback. You have Cam Ward, Daniel Jones, CJ Stroud, and Sunshine. Those teams, they're set, right? Okay, then you have the Broncos no, the Chargers no, the Chiefs no. I'm not counting the Raiders because they literally have Mendoza. They've already I'm not counting.
Chiefs could, for a backup. I mean, if Willis is willing to, be a backup, I don't think he thinks that he's going to be a starter necessarily everywhere. Obviously, like there's only 2 or 3 teams where he might start,
right?
But if he's looking to be in a situation where he could keep learning and keep progressing and maybe have a shot at a Super Bowl, Kansas City,
teams. That's 3 teams in the AFC, maybe 4. Okay, then we have the NFC East, the Eagles no, the Cowboys no, Commanders no, Giants no. Then, right, then the Bears no, Packers no, Vikings, okay.
Makes sense to me.
Lions no, okay. Panthers no, Bucks no, Saints no. They have 2 guys there with the Saints, Tyler Shuck and the other guy. Falcons, we kind of said they make weird decisions. That would be like
Falcons are thinking going to release Kirk Cousins. It just depends on if they're all in on
which
Michael
I don't
Penix.
think they are. When you hear Matt Ryan talk, you would rather have him say, "Yeah, we're excited to get Michael healthy and He's the leader of our team. He didn't say that. He said all our guys are going to get evaluated and we'll see what we got. Uh-oh. That's not what you want to hear. So, yeah, maybe the Falcons. And then we end with the Seahawks, no. The Rams, no. 49ers, no. And the Cardinals, yes. So, by my count, we have probably six realistic teams that you could say, like, okay, they could use a quarterback. Again, I'm not counting the Raiders because, yes, they're technically on the list, but they're right off the list right away with getting Mendoza.
Yeah, I mean, we
So-
know Mendoza is going to be starting. We know that.
Yeah.
You know, the days of rookie quarterbacks waiting in the wings are long gone.
No, it's over. Yeah. So 6 teams. I mean, I don't know. Is that before we did this exercise? Would you have said 6 was high?
But that's how many of those 6 are realistic? You know what I mean? And probably 3 of
Well,
those
right.
are actually
Half.
realistic.
Exactly. So that's not a lot. That's really not a lot.
of options.
And they're not great situations.
But Miami makes the most sense. Miami and Minnesota, M&M, both the M&Ms make the most sense to me.
Yeah. We talked about Pittsburgh being an option. This is a guy that's on the list. He's in a cave right now, the Cave of Wonders. Let's in our too early to tell. Does Aaron Rodgers stay?
I think maybe one more. I think he comes back one more year with Mike McCarthy. I think Mike McCarthy gets him to stay. They got a lot of history together. Makes a great story. Makes a great final hurrah. And if they do draft Ty Simpson, I mean, it's a good spot for him to watch Rodgers work, even though Rodgers at the tail end of his career, like he still gets to see his work ethic, still gets to see him in practice every day, still gets to pick his brain. You know, Rodgers is not the standoff guy he used to be when it comes to teammates. Like he gets in there and mentors them a little bit and coaches them along. You know, he used to be like a little something like Brett Favre said to Rodgers, like not to him, but about him. Like, it's not my job to babysit. Rodgers was kind of the same way. You know, and that's changed over the years. So, I mean, Steelers are definitely going to have to look at a quarterback. I can't see anybody else drafting Ty Simpson unless Miami did. And I know Miami's picking before Seattle. So, I mean, before Pittsburgh. So,
yeah, I don't know how that shakes out. I think Pittsburgh does. I think they both kind of want the other person. I think they're like that shy when you're 15. And you know that the girl likes you, but you're still shy. And the girl knows because all of her friends have written letters to you. And you said, yeah, you do have a crush on her. So she knows, but she's still too shy. I think they both have crushes on each other. And they're still like, they know they need each other. That's what's going to happen. Pittsburgh and Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers, do you want to come back to Pittsburgh? Check yes or no.
Circle yes or no. Exactly. So... a receiver, the flippy, yep. So the receiver that, one of the receivers that I said was going to be better than Romeo Doubs, who I know you like, is a guy who had 47 catches for over 1,000 yards. Now, I'm not a math major, but here's what I will say. That's insane.
Yeah.
47 catches, and you had over 1,000 yards. He led the league. He led the league in yards per catch. So I know you like him.
Yeah, I do like him, man. He's
Alec Pierce.
just getting started. Quarterback play obviously was better for the Colts this past season with Daniel Jones before he got hurt. So a lot of that had to do with Daniel Jones airing it out. And I don't think he gets those numbers with Anthony Richardson, but he still, even last season, you know, when they had, you know, Anthony Richardson and whoever else for a while, I think they had a plethora of QBs starting for him. He still led the league in yards per catch last year as well. So he's done it 2 years in a row. So, I mean, to me, that's the ability to produce, ability to be consistent, it's a deep threat, separation. When you're averaging 2.5 first downs a catch, come on, man. You know?
Yeah, dude, that's
wild. That's how you move the chains.
47 catches is like, you're like, how? And then you're like, oh, no big deal, over 1,000 yards.
I do like him. I think it's going to be tough to really get him. I think Indy's going to lock him up. That's a really sad state of the free agents wide receivers this year because there's about 10 of them that are really, really good. but they're all gonna be locked up, man. I mean, George Pickens is gonna get franchised. Alex Pierce is probably gonna stay there. Even old Mike Evans in his career, I can't see him going anywhere else with the Bucs. I see he probably signs a team-friendly deal, sticks around. I mean, when you really bounce it down, like the best like three available are that you think will be available are Romeo Dobbs.
What about Brandon Ayuk?
Well, and that's what I was going to say too. Juwan Jennings, you know, San Fran's going to lock him up. Yep. You know.
Now hold on. I will say this. From what I know, he wants too much. He thinks that he's wide receiver 1 or wide receiver 2, and that's only because we have been so injured. He is not, dude, and he's not getting faster. He's just not. I know he's from Tennessee, and he is great. He's a fan favorite. I love that dude, but he's asking for too much. And on my 49er podcast with Johnny Dell, we've said we don't think that he is going to end up staying. We don't actually.
I mean, you know, I could see them trying to. I mean, he's produced. I mean, every time he gets his opportunity, he produces. But I mean, I get it for sure. You guys have a lot of injuries. You got a lot of mouths to feed. You got Ricky Parasol. You got well, hell, I mean, of course you got Kittle, but I'm not sure who else. Right, everybody's been hurt. I don't even know really who your starter's supposed to be anymore.
Right.
I did hear rumors of maybe a reunion with Debo.
There is rumors. Kittle was like saying something. It's like, why is he mouthing off if there isn't some kind of talks? But I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't want Debo back. Like, okay, you leave Washington, go to Washington, and just because everyone gets hurt over there, your team is terrible, and now you want to come back. Like, well, no. Why didn't you stick up for us and want to stay when you knew this was a Super Bowl caliber team if we all stuck together? So, like, I'm cool off Debo. And he got injured a lot last year, too. He didn't play a ton.
Receiver that's going to be out there is going to be Calvin Ridley because we're going to cut his ass. And so he's going to be looking for a new team. So, if maybe a fresh start would be good for him, Mr. Dropsy Pants there.
Yeah.
I don't know what his problem is, man. Dude was great in Atlanta, and maybe it was Matt Ryan. Right? Maybe it was because of Matt Ryan,
Crazy, man.
But, I wouldn't mind Jennings in Tennessee, but it just gives me concern of.
I think that would be cool, honestly.
Calvin Ridley, Ridley experience, where we break the bank and then Shad Khan, breaks the whole entire free agent for wide receiver market for.
Dude, with Christian Kirk. Dude, that was wild, man.
And then AJ Brown's like, hey, I want more, and then we trade him. Like, I mean, Shad Khan. That's what I said. I was like, he manipulated the whole league. Like he just dropped a bomb. It's like, I'm gonna overpay a mediocre wide receiver and force everyone else's hand. And and then he destroyed the Titans single-handedly by doing that. I mean, they just imploded overnight. The AJ Brown trade was like just the falling rock. It's kind of like Indiana Jones, when he's running from the rock, like just kept getting closer and closer and bigger. And yeah, that was Shad Khan, man. He's an evil genius.
And in the Orlando, in the Disney World, whatever, that guy who played Indiana Jones, like when you go and see the attraction and it like got him, like, uh-oh, whoops, that wasn't supposed to happen.
I've seen that thing. Have you seen it? Have you seen that Indiana Jones stunt show?
Not like in real life. I haven't.
I saw it in real life when I was a kid.
Oh, I bet it was awesome.
Oh, it was amazing, dude.
Dude, best thing ever.
Yeah.
All right. What about so you mentioned George Pickens. He was on my list as well. And
he's getting franchised. We know that.
Yeah. I would think that's projected value $28.8 million. Just nuts.
That'll buy you some cheeseburgers.
Yeah. And the second best guy I think on this whole entire list is Trey Hendrickson and the Bengals. Dude, what are they doing? Like,
I mean, they already tried to trade him, and that didn't work out. And then it's like, oh, well, now he's coming back. We've worked it out. I don't know what they're doing, man. And that's another thing too. We're just assuming that Joe Burrow is there. I hear I've read many rumors about how the Vikings are trying to go all in on pushing the Bengals for a trade to reunite him with Justin Jefferson. So I mean, think about that though. That's kind of crazy to think about. Like he could go from Jamar Chase to Justin Jefferson, like both his teammates in college. Like it's just kind of unreal, man. That LSU team was so unbelievable. I
mean, you look at those receivers. You obviously you didn't know like who was gonna, that they were gonna be that good. Like when you're watching college players, like you look at IU, some of those IU receivers, and Miles as a homer will say, "Oh no, I could just tell that this guy's gonna be really really good." Or yeah, you watch every game religiously. No one watched IU as religiously as him, so of course he thinks that. But like, you don't know for sure. Mike Evans or Megatron or these guys coming out of college, like they had games where they were studs, but like you just don't know. But imagine having both of those studs in college. It's like pretty unfair that they both, one's on the left, one's on the right. All right, like just throw it up and meet in the middle, and one of them will get it.
And Joe Burrow said last season many times, like, yeah, I'm just not happy right now. I'm not in a good place, like mentally, like I'm not enjoying football. You can read that a million different ways, but what it says to me is he does not want to be in Cincinnati anymore. He doesn't believe that they have the necessary ownership or pieces in play for him to win a Super Bowl, and he wants to go somewhere it does. And let's be real, Minnesota's defense is always top notch. They got Flores back. I mean, knowing that if J.J. McCarthy ain't it, if I was Minnesota, I'd be offering the house up to get Joe Burrow. If there was any inkling that that Cincinnati was willing to deal, I'd be all over it. Because, I mean, we can laugh at his ups and downs the past few seasons, but he's still a phenomenal quarterback. Yeah. But back to Hendrickson, I don't know what they're doing there. I think he's got the makings of leaving for sure. There's no way they're franchising him. There's no way they're working out a deal. Like, he's clearly gone.
Yeah, that's a divorce that was like, he's been sleeping on the couch. Well, I should say he's been sleeping in the bed. The Bengals have been on the couch. I should say that right.
I'll go out on a limb, but to me, he seems like a Mike Vrabel guy. I mean, he seems like Patriots would come calling for him. They could use him for sure.
Well, can he hang on to the ball and just throw it and not fumble it, or because maybe they could use him doing that too, at least for the playoffs. All right, let's. I want to shift to the Olympics because there's just. I'll be honest. The Olympics, to me, there's too much going on, whether it's summer or winter, and just every couple years when here it comes, I'm like, yeah, Team USA as much as the next guy, but like curling, there's curling, a Fort Wayne curling club, and I'm sure it spikes.
We have a bar. We have a bar in Nashville where you can go do it.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, like, and I'm sure every couple years when it's time, I'm sure membership like goes up 900%, and then it goes back down. And like curling is one of those things where you watch it for 5 minutes and now you could coach it. Like you're an expert, like, but like, I just can't get into it.
Or you watch it for 5 minutes and you change the channel. Either way.
Well, either way, it's like, I just don't know. I'm in it for the storylines and what's going on.
Just invite those people over to my house and say, why don't you just sweep my kitchen floor? Like, it's kind of the same thing. I mean, it's just reverse, I don't understand. It's like, I always think about the Olympics. It makes me think about how did these sports come into play? I always try to Google them sometimes just to see. Like, I always thought, like, the Summer Olympics, I'm like, who was the very first person that was like, you know what? I have this idea. We're going to call it pole vaulting. And we're going to run and we're going to get this giant pole. We're going to jump as high as we possibly can in the air. And maybe not hurt ourselves, because it wasn't fully thought out. We always
it's 40-60% that we will hurt ourselves.
We always joke about basketball. Like, it took them a couple years to cut the bottom of the peach basket out, because they kept taking a stick and knocking the ball out after some points were scored. Then some genius was like, why don't we cut the bottom out so it just falls through?
Yeah, we could keep playing.
oh my God, look, you are a genius, So it's like, to me, I always wonder who came up with it. Probably somebody trying to escape prison really is who invented pole folding. But, curling is another one. I'm just like, what? How did this come about? Like, people are like, okay, we're going to roll this thing and we're going to have some other people like shave the ice down, slow it down, or whatever they're doing. I don't know what they're
Which
doing.
is complicated, but yet
Yeah.
it's still ridiculous at the same time.
So, but at least you don't have to be physically fit to, do it. I mean, it's open to everyone. You can just have some good arm strength and some agility on the ice and be a good curler, I guess.
Yeah. So, in honor of A1 Jerry Seinfeld being in Fort Wayne, Indiana last night. I don't know why he was in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I didn't have the $400 to go, but in honor of him being in Fort Wayne last night, I present to you the best Olympics bit in the history of stand-up comedy. So he says, I love when nations get together at the Olympics, but the thing about the Winter Olympics is that it's because it's in the winter, they combine things that normally don't go together. I mean, you ski and then bang, bang, ski, bang, bang. How many alpine snipers are into this? I don't understand the relevancy, or that makes as much sense to me as swimming and strangle a guy. You just put a guy down at the end of the pool.
I like that. I like that event though. I call it the James Bond event. I didn't know it existed until like last Winter Olympics. I was like turned on the
You're
TV
like,
and I
what is this?
saw them going up the hill.
Alpine snipers.
First of all, they're like walking up the hill, and then they hit this thing. They're slalom down, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, they're shooting the gun. I was like, what is this James Bond event? I've never seen it before. And sign me up, man. I'd be all about that.
The other one is the luge. Now, the luge is on the bobsled run, but it's just Bob. It's just there's no sled. It's just a human being holding on for dear life. Just they put the helmet on him. They put the helmet so you can't hear him scream. Oh, this guy pointed his toes. He's a tremendous athlete. The luge is the only event in Olympics history that you could grab someone against their will, make them compete, and the result would be exactly the same. Boom, world record. Didn't even want to do it. The involuntary luge. That's what I want to see next time. The involuntary luge. Gold medal.
I already said they didn't just start drafting people like jury duty. Bring out Steve from Costco from New Jersey, we got Steve. He's assistant manager at Costco. He's been there 7.5 years, and he is going to compete in the 200-meter luge. Yeah, you see that commercial with the girl that competes in it, where she's talking about it, luge. She's like, "Yeah, I just people can't really hear me, but I just scream the whole way," and it shows her like screaming. And then she's like, honestly, I feel like you could probably just put just a corpse up there, and it would probably do just as good as me. And she's like literally Olympic, like competing in the Olympics on, and that's a commercial. I'm like,
yeah, dude,
we got real dark there for a second,
Yeah, we did.
Like there's other ones that are like talking about like, yeah, I snowboarding all my life. I dreamed that I could do this, and she's like, yeah, I feel like you could just put a corpse up there and probably just do just as fast as me.
Just to say, yeah.
Yeah, thanks for scaring the hell out of me, Daria.
Daria. MTV callback again. So speaking of dark, like, I don't know. I'll be honest. I'm not saying, T.I., that you would ever cheat on your lovely, beautiful wife. However, if, like, I don't know why, if you did, and you were in the Olympics, I'm not sure you are an idiot, but I don't think you're a moron. Like, can you imagine this guy? Like, what are you overwhelmed with? Besides guilt, you have dumbness. You are overwhelmed with dumbness to do that.
I mean, what a genius Dr. Phil moment there, like, oh man, God. I really got to find a way to win this woman back. So I'm going to humiliate her on live television with the entire world watching, because it's the Winter Olympics.
It's
the entire world is competing in. It's not like when we say like the entire world is watching the Super Bowl or the entire world is watching the World Series, because they're not.
No.
But when it comes to Olympics, the entire world is watching. I mean, there's probably astronauts up in space stations that are watching, you know?
Yeah.
And this dude's like, I'm going to win her back. I'm going to tell her how sorry I am, and by humiliating her live on
Did
television.
she know before? That's what I feel like it was. He was breaking the news.
No, he said he told her a week before.
Okay, I didn't catch that.
But
okay.
still, that means that there are like people in her friends and
privately
family circle that have no idea that even happened.
Yeah.
And he's like,
that's a private thing, man. That's a
there's
thing.
Girls' grandmas like watching Olympics, like, oh, that's my granddaughter's boyfriend. I'm so proud of him. And he's like, yeah, I cheated on her. You know, like,
oh
God, so stupid. I mean, like,
well, happy Valentine's Day.
and what a great way to attract other females too, because I mean, lots of females would be just dying.
They love honesty. They love honesty. You know,
to get with a guy.
Well, I was honest.
Well, this guy did cheat on his girlfriend and then tell the entire world about it live on television and humiliate her. I'm going to give him a shot and see if it happens again, you know?
He is a gold medalist.
I mean, some people, like to go outside the window and throw rocks at it. Other people like to John Cusack the radio. And, this guy just wanted to basically humiliate his ex-girlfriend live on television and hope that wins her back. So good for him for taking a risk. Very, very bold and brave and brazen in his choices. Good luck to him. I'm sure that's going to work out fine when he gets back to, where is he from? Sweden? Where is he from? I don't remember.
I don't know. Really white. He was really white. So
yeah, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter at this point. Nobody really cares. All they know is that he cheated on his ex-girlfriend, and then humiliated her live on television. So good job, buddy.
Just wild. I can't believe that we don't have more gold medals. We only have 4. Italy has 6, and Norway has 7. And Italy has the most medals at 17, and we have 14.
Italy's on the way to break their all-time record. Their all-time record for most goals is 20.
They're gonna crush it.
Yeah, they're well on to crushing that. So Italy is really, Norway is crushing the Olympics, but Italy as well.
So I'm glad you said crushing, because that is what Myles Garrett does to his girlfriend, because she is very small. And you see those pictures where they're like hugging, and you're like, where did she go, bro? He just like consumes her. Weird. I'm like, I do not want to think about those two in the bedroom, because it's not a good scene. I'm sure it is not healthy for that young lady, but yeah, I'm glad she got the medals and all that. God bless her.
Back in the day, I don't think Shaq's married anymore, but his original wife was like, came up to his hip,
Remember that guy who's mad at his ex-wife, the model, because she said, I think it was the size of like 2 of these.
Yeah.
Zoinks, which we never brought that up. I don't know how that got through Sports Idiot Nation.
The first male in history of being male, even dating back to the caveman days, that got mad because his girlfriend told him he had a giant schlong.
Yeah. Guys all over the planet are begging, like, I will pay this woman to make that up, and he's like mad at her. It ruined our marriage.
He's like, I told you to tell everyone I have a micro penis. What is wrong with you?
Oh man.
Look, I told you, if anybody asks, I have a baby dick.
I gotta be honest. This was one of our better shows, and I thought it was gonna be one of our worst. Because there's not much going on, and we don't care enough about the Olympics. However, we were pretty action-packed here. I got to give us a little pat on the back here. That's congrats to us.
We were so action-packed, we almost split our pants.
Yeah. So Logan Paul's girl, a lot of famous people.
Jake Paul's, right?
Or Jake Paul, yeah. So famous people having significant others in the Olympics. So add him to the list. Yeah. The speed skater, I guess she is, right?
Yeah, she's interesting.
She skated out of her pants.
Yeah, she's so fast, she split her pants. But I mean, those outfits are so tight. I mean, how
Oh,
do you
dude.
not? How in the world do you not? I mean,
You fart
know,
or yawn or breathe heavy, and it probably
or
ruptures the.
just move, bend over, tie your skate.
Yeah.
Of course the media is all over that. It's like, who cares about the people winning the gold medals? This chick split her pants.
Yeah. And look who she's with.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the last thing is, who is just completely, their gaster was flabbered from Lindsey Vonn getting her leg demolished. Like, who saw this coming? Like, you're in your 40s.
Stevie
You
Wonder,
shouldn't
Ray
have.
Charles, Helen
Yeah.
Keller. Helen Keller
Yeah.
saw this one coming. Okay.
Yeah. Like, dude, you knew. Now, when you take a look at her sponsors and you're like, oh, this one was paying like $1 million. She had like $1 million sponsor. Like, whoever it was, like, yeah, I guess with 2 torn ACLs, I would go up there. I would just try, knowing that I couldn't do it. But no one actually believed that she was going to make it throughout the whole week without.
Come on.
Like, that was just rough.
I mean, she blew her knee out like 4 days before. I mean, come on.
Get out, like, yeah. And you're not like driving a car and it's the leg that can rest. You're using the other leg. You're skiing like 80 miles an hour.
Her doctor's James Woods from Any Given Sunday. He's just like, yeah, here, just shoot you up with some stuff. You'll be fine. You're getting paid $1 million. Get out there.
Well, as long as it's not the Michigan State guy, then I mean we're okay. But
yeah, nobody wants him as their trainer. He's a little he's a little too hands on.
Oh man, yes, this was some of our best work. If you like this, make sure you tune in wherever you get your social media. We are plastered all over social media. We got Turtles Idiot Nation. We got What the Puck Idiot Nation. Shout out to Team USA, shellacking. It was like 5-0 or 5-1. What was that?
5-1 to
5-1.
Latvia. I don't know.
How did we give up 1 to Latvia, bro?
Consolation goal,
Yeah, like, come on.
I think that's where like Dr. Doom. I think that's where Dr. Doom's from or something. They were like, Avengers Doomsday's coming out. Let him get a goal.
Wouldn't be an episode with T.I. without a Doomsday reference. So, make sure he's still sad about the Super Bowl. Did not have a.
I emailed Marvel. They haven't emailed me back, but
they didn't even leave you on red. They haven't even opened the email. Because you hit email notification. I want to get notified when they read it. So I can call them out on it. Yes, but follow us on social media wherever you get your social media. And remember that new episodes of Sports Hit Nation come to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, which means we will see you hopefully to talk about some exciting NBA stuff on Monday.
Maybe.